I don't know about you, but like everybody I know has had a horrible 2025. I feel like you're the only person who's like, I haven't hated 2025 that I know. Seriously. Like, are people in your
Why?
life thriving? Because they're not in mine. That'd be hilarious if that was live streamed as well to
I
YouTube.
know. Yeah, I see. I think that's just the digital era of funny stuff that can happen. You live streaming in a robe, me on Instagram accidentally reposting somebody in a sexy Shrek costume.
The
Yeah.
repost button is dangerous on
Okay, I
Instagram.
noticed it's right where, and like it's so funny that like, like it was just like I love Shrek, but it was just so funny that it was like this like sexy person like dressed up in like a Shrek costume around Halloween, and it like
Sexy Shrek.
literally, I realized when I scroll, my thumb hits right where the repost is. Like
Yeah.
right where that like icon is, and I'm like, oh my gosh, digital era stuff. And then my husband was like, "Are you aware that did you want to repost that?" Because he's like, he knows they like Shrek and stuff. But I was like, no, I did not. That, if it's not Michigan, I don't want it there.
Yeah, I
So
accidentally
that was funny.
reposted something too, but luckily it was just like Gracie Abrams, so it was like
Easy
fine. But
peasy.
but still, I was like, I'm not like a fangirl where I'm like reposting all of her stuff. Like, kind of weird. Well, yeah, I live streamed in a bathrobe, so that was a thing that happened. 20 seconds. I got it. I can insert the clip if anyone wants to check it out. But
I think
I
it'd be funny
literally,
too. I think it'd be funny.
yeah, I noticed it, and I literally was like, "What?" And then I like covered my mouth for 20 seconds. That was what the video was. So yeah. What's going on? Test, test, test. Why does this say I'm live on YouTube? No. Oh my god.
Hi, everyone. So, listening, watching, today we thought it would be really good to kind of recap 2025. I feel like a lot happened in the digital space, a lot happened for us. I think I think this is the year that you and I came to each other kind of asking questions more than any other year.
Mm.
Would you agree?
Yeah. I
It's
think
like,
it's
yeah,
the first year that we've kind of like done the same thing. I mean, we've always
true.
overlapped and always done similar things. Like
Yeah,
Ryan and I started our businesses really like we went like full time with our businesses around the same time. And
true.
but we've always kind of had different paths. Like I kind of was more on the like course and YouTube
Hmm.
route, and then you were more on the agency route. And then now I feel like we're both kind of in this space where we're like doing a little bit of both, but more
Yeah.
leaning into content.
Hmm.
So I feel like
I
this is
agree.
like the time that we've had the most in common, you
Yeah,
know?
that's a good point. And then maybe, yeah, maybe we feel like we can actually like it opens up the question platform a little bit more to be
Yeah.
like, so how did you handle this contract?
Yep.
Which actually, I will say to kind of kick off like something that I learned this year is tied with contracts actually, and is about a hot topic that I told Latasha I want to bring up. So everybody probably knows about the Sydney Sweeney American Eagle jeans ad, the kind of problematic side of it, and how they talk about genetics and she's blonde and blue eyes, kind of, and they were hinting at, she has good genes. Like, okay, well, what are you trying to say there? And they ultimately, somebody I see that in my head, I'm like, you all knew what you were doing, and they got the cultural whatever they were going for moment out of it. But there was the reason why I bring this up in terms of content creators and contracts is that she was in an interview, and this was like weeks after the ad went live, and the person was like, so do you want to comment on that? And everybody was like livid because she kind of said something like along the lines of like, people are going to think what people are going to think, and like kind of like gave a little shoulder shrug kind of moment.
Hmm.
And the interviewer was just like, okay, next question. And like kind of rolled through it because clearly she wasn't going to touch. And people were like, hey, if you truly are not about what this is saying and what we're mad about, speak up. Um, and then weeks later after that, she has now like someone mentioned that she did speak up and said something about like what happened. And I
Hmm.
realized, I go, she was probably tied contractually to not say anything bad about American Eagle
Mm.
or
Yeah.
about the ad itself. And again,
Right.
this is like us just kind of like thinking about things and how the content creator space works. But it got me thinking because in contracts, there is such a thing as, hey, you cannot speak ill about this
Yeah.
brand you're collabing with. Um, And it just got me thinking of like another thing to kind of empower creators with, is to say like, hey, everything in a contract can have its meaning. So just make sure you are 100% comfortable with
Yeah.
what it says. So maybe like if it says like a year of that, maybe shorten it. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that? Or have you gotten that before in contracts?
Yeah. I think I have seen things that say vague wording around
Yeah,
like,
it's really vague. It's usually pretty vague.
yeah, it's not like you must say we're the best brand ever, but
Mm-mm. They
it's
never do that.
yeah, for me it's typically when it's like a product, it's like if you don't like the product, if you're not happy with us, like happy with it, like reach out to us before
Mhm.
trashing our product, you
Right.
know? Because I mean, I think there's a difference when you're being paid to do content. It's not the same as a review
Mhm.
video. Like if I'm you know, doing this microphone, like no, Rode would be paying me to promote their microphone versus if I bought it myself and I wanted to review it and give the pros and cons. So there is like a an art to it, you know,
Yeah.
where you want to be honest with your audience, but if it's like I hate this, this is the worst thing ever, they want me to come to them and like work it out versus blasting them in a paid review.
Mhm. The best brands, I think, do have that open conversation.
I don't know. I just think she doesn't care. I just think she's not very informed and doesn't care. Everything
That
about
also could be it.
that I have read about her and that I know of her is she uh you know, that's I don't think she wanted to speak out.
Because there's even
But
a way to even like reword it or
yeah, you know, yeah, because you don't have to
do
trash
something.
American Eagle. You could just say, one of the reasons I love American Eagle is because they
Right.
fit all body
They fit
types
all, yeah.
and, you know,
Right.
whatever.
See,
Like,
the power of marketing and PR and branding,
yeah,
like there's so many ways to even like reword that
yeah,
instead of just
for
saying
sure.
silent on it and letting like the flame just burn and burn and burn and burn.
Yeah, yeah. But let's talk about our choices.
Yeah.
All right.
Which
Some
are a little
good, some
bit, I
bad.
think, a little bit more productive and better than that ones that she chose not to. But yeah,
Yeah.
what's like a main? What was like if you look back on 2025? What's something that you think is like a profound update or nuance or kind of like change that you made? I guess for the better.
Well, it's interesting because I was looking at my revenue spreadsheet and
Mhm.
I realized this is the first year I think ever that brand partnerships made up the biggest slice of my revenue pie.
Ba boom.
Now, I want to be clear about something. That's because I got really lazy about the other things. I'm doing about the same in brand partnerships as I was doing last year and the year before.
Gotcha.
Um, like I'll be like fully transparent. Like I think 2 years ago was the first year that I made six figures just from brand partnerships alone,
Nice.
and so I've maintained that and grown that. But yeah, the other revenue streams have been harder this year.
Hmm.
Uh, and I think that's for a lot of reasons. I think some of it has been personal. I've just like not been in the mood to sell. I felt a lot of, speaking of Sydney Sweeney, like I think there's been a lot of like ethical
Yeah.
dilemmas for me around social media and AI and like all of the different things that I'm like, I don't want to
Yeah.
teach this. I don't, you know, I felt kind of like stuck. So there's some reasons like that. But I also think we've seen like a big kind of cultural shift in how people buy digital products and education products. AI has rapidly changed that industry and made it less lucrative, I think, by and large. So
Hmm.
it's just been like an adjustment year for me, but also seeing those numbers was really encouraging for me because I'm like, maybe I should lean more into this next year because
Hmm.
also I just you guys, end of the year is a gold mine. First of all, let me say, don't turn your emails off quite yet. Stay locked in because I haven't signed it yet, knock on wood, but we have a verbal agreement. They're supposed to sign the agreement this week.
Hmm.
I just signed my biggest, or I'm going to hopefully sign one of my biggest brand partnerships in like probably a year and a half.
Ooh. Oh my gosh. Is,
So
is it like a big campaign? I know you probably can't talk much about it, but like,
yeah,
is it like, does it feel like a big campaign? I
yeah,
guess.
for sure. Big brand, very, very well known brand, really cool product. And it's like, it's for UGC actually. I'm actually
Oh,
not
cool.
posting the content
Yeah.
myself, but
Those are great. I love UGC
me
deals. Like,
too.
I love posting things because like I like
Yeah.
supporting brands and like posting them on my channel and stuff. But UGC, I think, yeah, is because I feel like then it makes you feel like more of a creative agency than
Yeah.
just like an influencer doing things, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. Well, and there's like, I think a little bit less pressure because they're posting it on their own thing and likely they're going to put paid behind it. And so
Mhm.
I'm a little less stressed about performance because that's one of the things about brand deals is I'm like, well, what if it doesn't perform well? Sometimes we just can't help it. Sometimes it's the algorithm,
Yeah.
sometimes it's people don't like because it's a paid ad, sometimes they don't like the product, whatever. And
Mhm.
so then that adds that layer of stress. So anyway, all that to say, like I was doing the math and I was like, okay, if I can maintain my existing partnerships, this deal comes through, another one that's in my inbox that's close to being signed goes through. I'm already projected to make more in brand partnerships than I made this year just from those alone. So I'm
Wow.
like, okay, maybe I lean more into brand
Yeah.
deals for the year ahead. I think I just messed this up though, because I feel like that was like my prediction for partially for my prediction, but um
Just more
I'll
brand collabs.
yeah, I think they're coming back. But like I guess to bring it back to like a win, I think in some ways I felt like a failure this year because
Mhm.
I have dropped the ball in other areas, but the win is that okay, but you have this like lucrative revenue stream that
Yeah.
can support you. Like so maybe lean into that.
Well, let's get it straight first. You were a failure this year. No, I'm
I am a failure, a giant failure.
just kidding, just kidding. No, I feel like it's cool though that I think that you're a shining example though of how people should be thinking of like, hey, maybe I should lean into something else. Like keep
Yeah.
your options open and maybe just not even taking action on it per se, but just thinking in the headspace of like, maybe I should pivot a little bit. Maybe I
Yeah.
need to pivot because it's like things are going to change constantly. What do you think it is about brand deals that kind of brought them back for you?
Well, like I said, they never left.
Oh, yeah. or
But
and you're right because so I guess it's like if it's the same, but you
yeah,
did say that like you're already kind of starting next year off
yeah,
on a
and a
better
better
foot.
yeah, that's true.
Do you think it could just be like the industry itself or something you did?
I mean, I've just been getting a lot coming at once, and I do think that there has been something industry wide this year. There's been so much turbulence. We had a change of political administration, and I think
Mhm.
um, with that there always comes uncertainty, no matter like which side you're on or
Yeah.
like who it is or whatever. Like, there's always like, ooh, the economy is going to be weird, or we got to like see
Hmm.
how things kind of go. So there's that, the TikTok thing and like all the bans and the not bans. And I think brands have maybe just been a little bit more conservative about their spending.
Hmm.
At least in my world, it seems that way. And it seems like now people are ready for 2026, at least Q1. They're like, let's get on these campaigns.
Yeah, not to well, not to not. I don't know why I said not to. To add to your credibility, last year was really quiet around
Hmm.
Q4 for me. I had a great Q1 to 3, but Q4 is
Hmm.
pretty quiet. But similarly, out of the woodwork, I got like 3 campaigns that came that
Hmm.
will eventually pay out in Q1. So like
Yeah.
that's where the budget is.
Yep.
Um, so I'm feeling very similar
Yeah.
about like the start of things. And I think with TikTok and it kind of moving forward in the process of like becoming this more um, American owned,
Hmm.
investment wise company, I think that's also helping me out just because like in the beginning with TikTok, I was actually seeing equal like TikTok Instagram interest, but then this past year was definitely very heavy Instagram only interest
Yeah.
because of the possible TikTok ban, like who, like obviously that's the obvious choice. Um, but now I hope, just because on TikTok, my engagement lately has actually been better, which is
Yeah.
really interesting too compared to Instagram. Instagram, I think, is still like the best home base for everybody. Would you agree to
Yeah.
that? Of like,
No.
or sorry,
You
sorry,
do.
for yeah, duh.
Instagram, bye. No, I'm just kidding.
Listeners. Sometimes we we both can forget things, and that. Oh my gosh, that's so funny that I said that to you.
But for you, for short form, you think
Yeah,
Instagram is
I was gonna say
still,
sorry.
yeah,
Yeah, for short form, 100%. I think Instagram's like the best home base. I think
yeah,
TikTok's trying to be that
yeah,
too, and maybe it will. But I have a much larger following there. Like I said, the engagement there has almost been better, even though views are maybe not as high as Instagram.
yeah,
So that's just been interesting. But yeah, so I have the same hope kind of or prediction
yeah.
from that front that I think brand deals will have a big comeback. And I think that it's like brand deals are still it's a higher barrier to entry, I think, than some other stuff. Like,
Mm-hmm.
not that you were doing this as hard as some other people or anything like that, but like with affiliate marketing,
Mm-hmm.
because everyone started to know about it, it kind of became this thing that like so many people did to where like you can't trust a link from a friend that's they're not going to get a commission on it or
Yeah,
like something like that either. Just because everyone's like, ooh, I can get it. I can get commission off
yeah.
affiliate versus like brand collabs, it's very formal. There's a
Mm-hmm.
contract. You're doing a big campaign with a brand, most likely.
Yeah,
There's a lot more to it
for
to
sure.
where,
I
yeah.
I will also say though, another thing that's like I guess more personal development is I have charged what I'm worth. You
Yeah.
know, I even, well, okay, there's actually been a few things, which one I talked about on this podcast, which I got rid of my management because I felt
Hmm.
like they were bringing very, very tiny little deals
Yeah.
across my desk. If anything, they weren't getting five-figure deals like I'm signing myself,
Mm-mm.
and I'm keeping 100% of now and not
Right.
paying a management fee. And I think there is something to just like, I hate this. It's like such a cliche term, but like knowing your worth.
Hmm.
And I think no one will fight for you as well as you will, or somebody who you really trust will. And so I think that's been a part of it too. Because I just had a conversation a week ago with a different brand that I almost said yes to just because I was like, it's consistent revenue. They wanted to sign me for like a monthly UGC kind of deal.
Hmm.
And I was like, okay, it'll be consistent money, but the rates were like, it was not it. And I was just like,
Hmm.
there's this,
You
in
you know by now what you put into something, so you
yeah,
know what it's gonna take.
yeah. And it was an internal battle for me because I was like,
Yeah.
honestly, like I'm starting school next year, so I'm not going to be able to take on as much client work and stuff like that. And
Hmm.
should I just say yes to this like little consistent income? And I said no. And then the next day I got this one amazing brand. And then the next day I got this other amazing brand. So it's like sometimes saying no opens the door to new things.
Right.
And I'm sorry, I just have to say a PSA. Please stop charging so little, you guys. Like, I'm
Really
serious.
though.
I'm serious. It's
Oh,
it's bad. Like,
I I don't want to talk ill of people, but there
do
is a
you? But
specific organization. This is
yeah,
my tea part
yeah.
that
Hmm.
sends out like an email blast. And this
Mm-hmm.
is like it's an organization that, I think should know better than to be doing this. And I think the thing about it is that they are offering something good. I
Mm-hmm.
don't want to say they're not because they
Mm-hmm.
definitely are. It's just from the outside looking in, they, to put in perspective for you, are giving people maybe like $400
Yeah.
for complete ownership of
Yep.
the content, which
Yep.
for anyone who's not aware, complete ownership just even in huge contracts is not thing. They still all of the brands know better and they go, we are licensing your content. You own the copyright.
Mm-hmm.
And they're asking essentially for this one, it was like 10 photos. And they
Mm-hmm.
were only paying like $300 or $400 and for complete
Yeah.
ownership.
Yep.
And I think it's just like sometimes people can't fathom what they can use that for. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
even in the world of AI, with complete
Mm-hmm.
ownership, if you send someone a picture of you holding a mug,
Yeah.
AI can change it to where you're holding their product.
Yeah.
And then they can use it in display ads and use your likeness and your face to run a $100,000 campaign supporting, I don't know, maybe it's a coffee company and you're holding like a
Mm-hmm.
mug with their brand logo on it. Like that's the could be. Do
Yeah.
most brands do that? Maybe not, but you have to again know your worth at the very beginning and know what it could turn into
Mm-hmm.
to do it. Because yeah, these people, these organizations, I don't know if they don't know better. Sometimes that is the case. Like
Yeah.
they're just getting into influencer marketing and really don't know. But the world would be so much better for influencers and like people sometimes, that will have a little bit of like, for anyone who has a little bit of like, oh, I wish that influencer didn't do so many brand deals.
Yeah.
Just know that money probably would go to just Meta or Google.
Yeah.
So do you want it going to a like local person that is making content for you, or just like these big $1 billion
Yeah.
advertising budgets?
Yeah, it seems like $300 to $400 is like the going rate for
Yeah.
UGC for like the, for lack of better words, like the amateur, like
Mhm.
UGC, like the person without a platform.
Right.
And that was kind of what this situation was that I was being presented. And I was like, okay, first of all, I don't agree with that anyway. I think even if you have no followers, you should be charging more.
Yeah.
But I was like, but you're, even if you're using this as UGC, people are going to see my face and recognize me as a, I don't want to like sound like whatever pretentious, but like a thought leader in this
Yeah.
industry and say, oh, like it's a different, it's still an influencer. Can't, if you're using like an influencer or a
Yeah.
content creator, a thought leader
It's
as
a
UGC,
celebrity endorsement, essentially.
yeah,
Like
it's
similar like
still
vibe.
should be charged, priced differently. So,
Yeah.
but honestly, I think UGC creators, I really want you guys to think about your prices too, because $300 for like an Instagram reel that can be used as an ad for a year, that might make them thousands, millions of dollars, depending on what it is. I
Yeah.
mean, you deserve more.
Yeah.
That's just, and when you think
100%.
about taxes, 30% put away for like you're getting a couple $100, like
Right. At the
if
end of it.
that.
And then
So
they're making buku bucks
yeah,
profits off
for
of your
sure.
video. Yeah, like that's this one I think I talked about in a previous episode, or like this one campaign. I swear I saw it for a year, and I'm like, I hope the actor in that got
Yeah.
paid. I just know though they
know.
probably charged like $1,000.
Mhm.
And we're like, I'm just excited to be in a video, which again, like there's like the good part of it. Like
Yeah.
even a small person without a platform could, you know, get on this commercial. Maybe they like
Yeah.
the exposure in that way. But it's like you also got to remember what they might use it for.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, maybe that's our prediction slash like hope
Yeah.
for the
Yeah.
new year, is like rates go up.
Mhm.
Period.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hope for everybody.
Do you have a win that stood out for you?
It was funny because I think right around this time of year last year, I said, which I think is something all creators, freelancers, entrepreneurs have to deal with, is, what will the next year look like?
Mhm.
Will I get any brand deals?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's kind of like the
So
reality of it
scary.
all. Is for me, like I'm in a niche. Is Michigan content just not the vibe? You know what I mean? Like for
Mhm.
advertisers, who knows? But then this year, I think I made pretty much the same as I did last year, which I'm actually really happy about,
Yeah.
because last year was a big win. And typically in like my like growth trending, which as a recommendation for everybody else, I think at the end of each year, you should keep track
Yeah.
of I think you're obviously behind that too, of like what you made, so that you can really, you might not think you worked that hard, and then you might find that you like grew your business by like 15%.
Yeah.
I think that would really make everyone feel good around this holiday season, or not good, and you need to pivot and see that kind of side of things too. But yeah, so I made around the same, but definitely felt way more. It's like every time I get a brand collab, I feel like I get that much better at like
Mhm.
not churning it out, but just like the process. Like I've
Mhm.
noticed my email chains with advertisers have gotten really short
Mm.
compared to what they were.
Yeah, that's good.
Like I would say like my email
Systems.
chains for some in the beginning, not all, but just like for some, were in like the 60 to 90 back and forth range, which is a lot. And mind you, for people thinking about how to price themselves, just know sometimes they can get that long.
Yeah.
Now they're more in like the 20 to 30 kind of range, which makes me think that I'm making either like better videos, understanding the assignment more, the campaign more, and maybe just working with some amazing people, which all this year, I feel like the big win was that I continue to just love what I do from a work perspective, which I think is
Yeah.
really hard to find. And
Yeah.
so I take a lot of gratitude with that, and know that just being able to be in the creative space. And again, like I swear, like every brand I work with, all the people got me. They were nice. Everyone's like so sweet. I lost some brand deals. I got a bunch. You know what I mean? Like I think it was a really well balanced year, which I
Hmm.
consider a win.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm just excited. I'm excited to see now. I'm kind of choosing in the new year to, because of that consistency, take a little bit more risk
Mm.
in the sense of I want to go a bit harder with collabing, UGC, um, possibly some other fun stuff, just to kind of maybe see what can happen and take a little bit of a risk.
Sorry. That was obnoxious.
I like the slow.
I know, and then I tried to
And
go
your
off
new
camera
camera
and I forgot
followed
it's
you.
following me, so my bad.
That was funny. But yeah, I would say like that was my biggest win was
Yeah.
consistency because I think in our space you don't get that all the time. So
Yeah,
I
for
think that was a
sure.
good one. And then my prediction too, yeah, I think for me, it's like you and I talk about like short form, long form, and that somebody listening or watching might have that question of like, what do I do, long
Mm.
form or short form? And I think that both are going to thrive. I think they
Yeah.
both just have their space
Mhm.
that people are seeing more prominently.
Mm.
Um, and I'm excited for that, I think,
I have
too.
something to add on that.
Yeah.
So I have been repurposing my TikToks to YouTube
Hmm.
Shorts, which I don't have many TikToks, but like
Hmm.
just the ones where I'm like talking TikTok style to the
Yeah.
camera, which I don't have very many of. But I was
Yeah.
like, why don't I just like post these over there? I've only posted two so far, but on both of them, yeah, on both of them that I've posted, people have said, "Can you make a long form video about XYZ?" And so that was I love that. I'm like, that's so cool.
Yeah.
So
That's
like
actually really good.
it's kind of helping me stay top of mind for people
Hmm.
by staying in like the YouTube Shorts feed. But then they're like, "Oh wait, this is Latasha. I like the way she does things long form.
Hmm.
I'm gonna like request that she goes deeper on this topic." In it. So it's like a true ecosystem, and I'm seeing how they work together
Yeah.
well. And so that's something that I am going to do more of. I'm going to hold myself accountable to do more of is like just like the talking to camera
Hmm.
shorts, as opposed to because like the repurposing stuff, mm, I don't think it's doing much for me.
I feel
And
like
I don't like it. And I feel like
no,
it
I
lacks
think that because
context.
your TikToks to kind of help everyone understand it too. Your TikTok video shorts are kind of like they act as almost like full-fledged videos,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Like the way you
Yeah.
edit them, it's not like, oh, cut of you doing a podcast. It's
Yeah. It's
start
like
to finish.
60
You are like,
seconds.
here's the topic, here's the content, here's the finish
Yep.
kind of vibe
Yep.
too, right? That's something
Yeah.
to note that's very noteworthy, I think, too. Of
Yeah.
like,
Definitely.
as we've gotten to this era of like everyone just kind of cutting stuff from their podcast, which totally works,
Yeah, like do
you
it.
know.
If you have the content, do it.
But I feel like even for us here on this podcast, which if you haven't subscribed, feel free to subscribe or follow on the pod platforms. Um, which I want to do more of is the video I did where it was like a custom video for
Yeah.
YouTube Shorts versus a cut of our podcast.
Yep.
And although it's like views wise, we've had some others do better.
Yeah.
It definitely was in the top, and I just felt had a little bit more of like heart and
Yeah.
engagement with it.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah,
takes
I
extra
agree.
work for which is like part of it for everybody. But
Yeah.
I think people, when it comes to like podcast cuts,
Yep.
it was one of those things that's like hot, and now it's kind of just regular, which is
Yeah.
fine. But
Well, and I
yeah.
think for me, it's like it contributes to one of the things that I hate about social media right now, which I call clip culture. And
Hmm.
it's that,
Woo, love
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Yeah,
I hate clip culture because it's like, like I'll just post, whatever, a clip of this podcast,
yeah,
and let's just say I say you clip the part where I said I hate social media right now or something, and
yeah,
everyone's like, "What? Oh my gosh, she's a fraud!" Blah blah blah. Well, social media can be good, and I'm like, "Yeah," because you didn't listen to the whole like 60-minute podcast where
yeah,
I said all of those things. You listened to like the 120-second clip and you
yeah,
didn't listen to the whole context. So I agree. Like that's one of the reasons I don't like
yeah,
posting podcast clips because I get that all people are like, well, actually, and I'm like, well, actually, I said
yeah.
that in the next 10 minutes. I just couldn't include the whole video in this clip.
Hmm.
So yeah, I think like, it sucks because it is more work, like you said, but just kind of
I think
like,
it's worth it. Yeah.
yeah. like recapping the podcast or, you know, one point from the podcast or something for a YouTube short as opposed to just clipping it, I think is going to be my strategy for the year ahead.
Yeah. I'm kind of trying to wonder, and that's something I always think for myself is like, what more could I do? And it's funny
Mm-hmm.
because I'll talk to my husband. He's like, well, what if what you're already doing is enough? Like he
Yeah.
kind of tries to like balance me out in that way, which I really appreciate.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just like excited. Like we'll see. Like maybe it's product. What do you have any predictions for? So outside of brand deals, do you have predictions? Because you're very prominent in the and have been really knowledgeable about the online revenue
Mm-hmm.
industry. I feel like in my research, I've seen that like digital products are still like a bit on the rise in
Mm-hmm.
terms of not on the rise, maybe as much as like people just have an interest in buying them.
Mm-hmm.
But I almost have trouble believing that.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, what's your take on digital products, if you have any?
Oh boy. I mean, well, yeah, I mean that's like all of what I, you know, do and teach and like yeah,
Yeah.
that's what like they were harder this year for me.
Hmm.
100%. I mean, previously online courses, which is a type of digital product, like those were like 60% of my revenue at one point. This
Hmm.
year they're more like 40. And actually, I think they were my third biggest revenue
Oh
stream,
wow.
if I'm not mistaken. So they went down a couple of rungs. And it's not that they're dead. Like I want to be very clear. Like you can and still that 40% was still a lot of money.
Yeah.
Like more than my corporate salaries, just to
Yeah.
be clear. Like I'm not
Just let's
saying,
be clear.
yeah, and I don't say that to brag. I just say
No,
that
it's
like,
being real to people, I
yeah,
think.
so there definitely still is like a future for them, but yeah, I mean in 2021 it's like I would like post a link to something and it would be like 100 seats sold out like in a
Mhm.
day, you know. Maybe that's a little dramatic but not really. I
No, I
mean,
feel like like I said, like that was the era we've talked about in other episodes where like I got 20,000 views in less than an hour
yeah, like
and
that
like
just doesn't
boom, it just doesn't
happen
happen.
anymore.
Yeah.
So I think it is important to be realistic. But yeah, I mean, I definitely think, I think right now people want quality. And that's one of the big things that I am going through at this time of year is like really auditing everything that I'm selling. And
Hmm.
if I'm not 100% proud of something, I'm going to archive it. And yeah, just like going through revamping, updating. I think people want community, although I have feelings about that too because people say they want community and then I create communities and then they don't engage in them.
I've
So I'm
felt that
like,
too a little bit, not with like per se my own, just ones I've like seen and been a
yeah,
part of. Like I feel like yeah, it's like people love the idea of connecting, but then they
yeah,
don't connect too
don't
much
actually do it.
when the
Yeah,
time. It's hard. I think it's hard to get the energy out of them
yeah,
to do it because even
hmm,
myself, like at the end of the day, do you
yep,
want it? Sometimes, to be honest, I don't really engage. I realize I don't like post.
yeah,
Like it's just not in my head to like engage that much. I'll comment, you know,
yeah,
like a bit, but like I just like watching. Like that's my
yeah,
engagement. It's just
yeah.
giving that kind of time.
So yeah,
Um,
I'm figuring that out. But you want to know something surprising for
hmm,
me? That's another like little, it's like the tiniest win ever, but
hmm,
I created merch this year, which I've done before,
hmm.
just like for funsies. And I created merch this year again, really just I just wanted to wear stuff like when I was in my
Yeah,
studio and whatever. People love it. I got like my first little surprise $1,000 check. I was like, "What is this deposit?" And I was like,
from
"Oh,
merch.
yeah,
Really? Look at you.
yeah."
Come on,
And
retail.
I know. And so maybe that is I don't know if this is going to happen or not, but like I would really love to find like a local printer or
Mhm.
because I'm just doing print on demand. So number one, the margins are lower.
Yeah,
Also it's you know like totally outsourced to some random company,
right.
so I can't like control the fabrics and stuff. But I think the trick for that is like I created a slogan that people really resonate with,
Hmm.
which is create for people, not algorithms. It's
Yeah.
not like Latasha James like or picture of my face obviously like you know, but it's like
Hey,
something
yeah,
that people are proud to walk around wearing.
right.
So
No, and that's I think too a focus for I think a good thing for everyone to remember going into the new year and as like social media evolves and things is I think I've said it in a previous episode too of like and your product idea is the epitome of that of let me not focus on myself, let me focus
mhm.
on exactly what your slogan says. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I think you and I can't stress that enough with people
Hmm.
with content creation is like don't make it about you.
Yeah.
Like, make it about others or your mission
Yeah.
or the
Yep.
community of some kind. I
Yeah.
don't know. You know,
Absolutely.
I'm trying to word this in a way that doesn't come across. Do you have cheaper alternative online products, or is it the courses that are not super expensive, but
Yeah.
like, do you
I
have like, because I've noticed like a trend of products is like a travel guide for $10. Do you
yeah.
have any like products like that? I
I,
don't think you
I
do, but
don't.
yeah.
The lowest priced product I have is like $50,
Okay. That
like a
makes sense
template
for the
pack.
courses. Yeah.
Yeah, but now I notice people do templates like one off. So that's the social
Right.
media management toolbox, which is like $50, give or take. So it's like 20 templates. But I've
Yeah.
seen other social media people be like, oh, get like a client report template for
Right.
$10. Get
Yeah.
a blah 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 for $10, whatever.
Yeah.
But
What do you think about those? Like,
well, I think I think for you, it totally makes sense. And even
yeah.
maybe there would be something that I could offer that would make sense. That's like a quick ebook or something
Mm-hmm.
like a guide or, but I really am trying to get away from the super low ticket. I
Mm-hmm.
think talking, because even like the toolbox,
Mm-hmm.
some people do like upgrade and move on to the $500
Right.
course, but the conversion rate is very low.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you think about it, that's for like very entry level people.
Well, yeah.
And
Yeah. That makes sense.
yeah, and so like they don't really have like a growth story. I don't know.
Or
It's
they're
hard.
not ready to like make that big of an investment. They're kind of dipping their toes in.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
guess eventually like there's a longer sales cycle. I guess eventually maybe like in a year or two once they're like booked out and like have used those tools to get their clients they do, but I just kind of feel like for me it attracts. I don't want to say the wrong audience because that makes me sound like ungrateful. Like I want everybody to like benefit from stuff, but like
Mm-hmm.
I want the people who are pulling out their credit cards to be pulling it out intentionally and not just like I'm looking for this like really cheap, like the cheapest offer. I want
Yeah.
them to like really be invested in working with me and, you know, taking their businesses seriously.
Right.
Because I also will say, I've noticed a large amount of my audience, and this is one of the reasons that my engagement rate is low, like on YouTube. Haters will say I buy followers or something. Never have. But I think you experience this with any, like, I noticed this in like the wedding industry too. Like
Yeah.
wedding YouTubers that I follow, they have low engagement rates because it's a very transitional, like
Mm-hmm.
type of video. Like you watch it when you're getting married and then
Right.
you
And then
drop
you're done.
off.
And you're done. You're
Yep.
like,
Yep. And I noticed that with me too. People will be like, oh, I'm really interested in freelancing. I'm going to buy this $50 template pack. And then maybe they decide it's not for them.
mm-hmm.
And then they fall off. Like there's
Gotcha.
kind of like ghost followers and ghost email subscribers and all the things. Whereas like I'm kind of trying to be a little more intentional with like, I'm looking for people who are in this, people like
Mm-hmm.
you and I who are like, yes, like we are entrepreneurial in our blood and like we're probably always going to do this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, to like for people who are a little more serious about
Yeah.
it, I guess.
No, that makes sense. Especially for you, because again, like it's almost like that long-term, high-quality kind
Yeah.
of strategy with it. Yeah,
But for you,
right. I was
I
like,
think
I
it's
have thought
different.
about it for me a little bit because someone
Mhm.
approached me for something, and they with theirs, they were like using AI to like make things which I'm not as much about right
Yeah.
now. At least I know that that can maybe be efficient for people later on. But then it's like if I'm just paying, if you're just, I would feel weird if I was a customer and I found out that I paid for just AI to
Yeah.
give me
Yeah.
something. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like as much as like, sure, I'm about the tech forward side of things. Okay. Is that actually me doing anything?
Well, I think that's where the community I think that's why people
Right.
say they want community because it's like an added value that like
Mhm.
AI can't give. So yeah, I think that's one
Yeah.
of the reasons. And
So I'm
service.
still pondering on it. I'll probably have a question for you after
Yeah.
we're done filming because I was like, I had this idea for something that I'm
Yeah.
like, it could work and is something that AI could definitely not recreate.
Hmm.
as well. So I was like, oh, maybe that will be something.
Yeah.
And can actually be tied to something we end up maybe doing with content creator confessions too.
Yeah.
So there's a whole thing. Although, like I said, maybe the strategy is more like the long term
Yeah.
kind of role with everything. But yeah, I feel like I just feel like I want to sell something, like a
Hmm.
product that helps push people forward in some kind of way. So
That's what
that's
I
just
teach,
my.
the creator trifecta:
Uh,
product, service,
I'm so
brand.
impressed with you and the retail side. That's gotta feel good to like, because I feel like I thought a trend for next year would be that like retail is let up is the big guys and no one else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The Gaps, the Zara's, the everything. Because I feel like it's
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah. I mean, I think there is there's something about a physical product. I think this way about books too. I
Hmm.
think at this point, like books are like people buy books as somewhat like decor
Hmm.
and it's more than just the knowledge. It's not just a knowledge product, it's like a product.
Hmm.
I think there is something that, I don't know, people, if it's tangible, people see the value in it a little easier sometimes than a course or a digital product. I'm not saying, like I said, I'm not saying they're dead, but
No, I
especially for the low ticket stuff. I'd
to
rather,
add.
sorry to cut you off. I'd rather someone buy a hat for $20 than a guide for
Yes.
$20. That's kind of how I feel.
No, I get you. And I guess to add to the credibility of what you're saying, for anyone who doesn't know, I once wrote a children's book and it's still available, I think, on Amazon only as a digital product because
Mm.
when I was designing it, I was using an external designer and they only made the things in a certain size and I didn't get the editable files, so I can't go back and edit it myself. Anywho, when I released it, literally, I kid you not, 20 people were like, hey, how do I get the physical copy?
Hmm.
And I was like,
Yeah.
I don't have one.
Aw.
You know what I mean? So it's
Yep.
like books,
Yeah.
things like that, they
Um,
tend to be good.
totally. Totally. Yeah, I think
In
it's
the
like a
long
little
term
piece of
time.
you. So I don't know.
Um,
Well, okay, I have witchy things I want to talk about.
ooh.
If,
Are
if
you gonna do it? Give us a reading?
I mean, I can, but no. Well, I just wanted to think of, as we're thinking about predictions,
Yeah.
I thought it would be fun. I know nothing about like the Chinese zodiac or
Hmm.
whatever, but I saved something. Where did it go? Hold, please. Maybe I screenshotted it.
My screenshots are
Everybody,
chaotic. I screenshot too many things.
I don't know about you, but like everybody I know has had a horrible 2025. I feel like you're the only person who's like, I haven't hated 2025 that I know. Seriously. Like, are people in your
Why?
life thriving? Because they're not in mine.
I'm trying to think of, I would say this year I've heard a lot of like, I can't get a job. I've
Yeah.
heard a lot about, I think that the one of the
So not
reasons I
thriving.
think I
So
would
not
say like,
thriving.
yeah, I would say I feel a vibe of change, some thriving, some not. I would say
Hmm.
it's a very middle ground type of
Yeah.
year.
Well, maybe misery loves company because in my world, everyone is like, this has been the worst year of my life. And I feel like for me, just personally, it's been like, it's weirdly been the worst and the best.
Yeah.
Like, there's been so little of middle ground.
Yeah.
It's either been like, I'm having the best time of my life, or like, I am like dying and like
Yeah.
struggling to
I
like
feel like you've
survive.
had a little bit of like, correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like you've had a little bit of that scene where Elsa undoes her ponytail, and you've had a little bit of like that kind of vibe happen,
Yeah.
but also that getting down to business a little bit too. Like
Yeah.
you've had that. I feel like you've had that mix of like,
Yeah.
I don't know,
Yeah. It's been
freedom
a,
slash like still sticking to like your gut and like what you think can be good.
yeah. Yeah, it's been an interesting year, but according to I guess this is Chinese zodiac, 2025 was the year of the snake.
Hmm.
The snake asked you to shed what no longer. Maybe Reputation by Taylor Swift is coming out that year. Um, the snake, wait, no, that was this year. She missed an opportunity there. Okay, anyway. Okay. The snake asked you to shed what no longer served you, to release the old skin, the false identities, the patterns that kept you small. You cleared space, you faced hard truths, you let go of what was heavy and fake, allowing only what was real to remain. This was your year of detox, of endings, of lifting veils, of seeing clearly. The snake guided you through the darkness of transformation, teaching you that sometimes you have to let things die to make room for rebirth. 2026. Now the horse, the year of the horse, moves you forward.
Yay!
After the stillness and shedding of the snake, the horse brings movement, momentum, and magnetic energy. This is your year of new beginnings, of alignment with your truth, of stepping into your freedom. It carries you towards beauty, passion, and flow. Doors that were closed begin to open. Power returns to your body. Opportunity meets you on the path.
You gotta shut doors to open other ones.
And also, there's
You gotta.
numerology. I guess like 2025 is 5 plus 4. So it's a 9 year.
Okay.
So 9 is like the ending, basically. A 10 year, which is next year, is like same energy, like rebirth, like new
Gotcha.
beginnings, fresh starts.
Mm-hmm. Is Mercury still going to be in Gatorade?
That's over for the year. Last one. I think the shadow period is almost over. So we're
That's good,
clear to sign contracts, to get back with our exes, whatever. Safe zone.
I think I like the year of the horse. I like what it means, and I think that I don't know. I do tend to hang on to that kind of stuff just as a back of the mind motivator for me to be like, hey, do your thing kind of vibe. You know, I know that some of the stuff might come across to some as like more flouncy, more like in the air, but it's like it is those things that as long as you believe it, it's okay.
Yeah.
And I think that goes for a lot of things.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I think there's just like it could be a lot of things. Like I said, there's been like political stuff, there's been platform algorithm stuff that affects us all. But I mean, I just think it's weird that like everybody I know is like trying to stay alive right now. Like is like struggle, but like there's
financially, would you say as the focus?
Yeah, financial I mean, I just read this thread. This was somebody from, I don't know who it is, but they were like, I don't know one single woman, like none of my single woman friends are actively dating. They have all given up. They have all said, we're
Look
done.
at Japan, everyone. Japan might have Japan literally, I think the last time I read it, they were like, our population is going to be a third of what it is in 2050.
Yeah.
Because nobody wants to date or have kids. Yeah. Because everyone needs to focus on themselves. You know what I mean? Kind of vibe.
Yeah. And that's a whole other, there's a lot of reasons, I think, that
lots of reasons culturally. Look up if you're curious, but but these are interesting points to tie in. I think that could have loose ties, you know what I mean? Of like what's going on in the world, period. You know, or
for sure.
Versus like even just like the US alone. You never know.
Yeah. So everyone's struggling. There's hope ahead. Early indicators, from me at least, have shown there's a little opportunity for a bounce back next year. Crossing my fingers that, you know, is the same for everybody. And yeah, we'll take you all along the journey.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like I love that we can have that commentary throughout the year so that we can like be sharing our learnings, and hopefully you all are getting so much out of it too. I feel like the one thing I kind of wanted to come in and say for the new year is really, it's so hard because I know that we all have probably hearts in other places and things like that, but truly try to focus on the things you can control within your world. Because I think it's so enticing to be like, hey, I have a platform, even if like you have a smaller one. Just like, hey, I really want to make change. You totally can, but try not to aim so big. Cause I think that that's been a benefit for me of like, just like, focusing on things that I can control right now. And it makes me feel a little bit more in control of the world that is going crazy. And I think it's empowering me to focus on like the community. Yeah. I think kind of aspect of things, which I think is helpful and positive.
Yeah, I will also say this also sounds like a little bit of a woo-woo concept, but
Mm,
like being in high vibe, high vibrational spaces, I think is very important too. Threads is my low vibrational space. I'll just say
hmm.
that in every way. If I'm looking at like what's going on in the world,
Yeah.
thinking about my love life, I get on threads and the algorithm is so good. It'll be like, if you are a Taurus in love with an emotionally unavailable Leo man, like all of, and I'm like, yep, that's it. Like, like, I hate everything. Or if you are struggling, in your business this year, it's only going to get
Yeah.
worse. Like the algorithms are just like so perfectly like honed in. And it's like
That is
I'm like,
scary to me.
yeah, it's scary to me, number one, but it's also like that whole like misery loves company thing
Yeah.
of when I make the active decision to say, I'm just going to live life and I'm not going to get on threads, I love my life. I'm happy with the way my love life is. I'm happy with the way my business is.
Yeah.
And it's not to say be ignorant about what's going on in the world, because I do think as humans, as citizens of the world, it's
Mhm.
important that we, know what's going on. But like, not being like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna doom scroll and
Mhm.
be in the depths of despair. It drags, you know, you down in all ways. Like if
It
you're
really
only
does.
seeing negative things about, oh, like I said, like the dating pool is awful, well, then you're going to believe that and you're
And
going to give up.
whatever thought you have in your head is just going to
Yep.
agree with that and be like, you're right.
Yep. Yep. Business is hard. Cool. Business sucks. Everybody's struggling,
Right.
but look for those stories of inspiration. Look for
Mhm.
those, people who are doing well and see it as an opportunity or, hope, I guess.
No, that's a good point. I feel like the algorithms these days honestly do though feed whatever. There's I don't want to go into too much detail, but there was something recently that was said out loud, and then
Mhm.
literally within the hour, like about an entire thing around that topic, I got a video, and it's just like
Mhm.
obviously they're listening, and it's like
Yeah.
cross device and everything. We all know that, but it's
Yep.
like it's crazy that it was able to find a perfect piece of content to amplify for me, which was a very negative thing. Like
Mm.
it was not uplifting. It was
Mhm.
not meant to help.
Yeah.
I think, or it was in a weird way. Like it was like kind of like trying to be like a best friend that like shared a message kind of vibe, like with the video that was selected. Really
Sounds
weird.
creepy.
Yeah. That's why, you know what? I'm just gonna focus on being funny still.
Yeah.
I think
You
I'm
know
like,
what?
you know what? I'm not gonna try to do too much else besides be funny
Yeah.
and entertain and inspire people to maybe enjoy Michigan and Detroit more.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, thanks for listening, everyone. Like I said, subscribe if you're watching, follow if you're listening,
If you have
comment.
requests for us, please
Yeah.
let us know for the new year.
Yeah, that's something for the new year too. I think that's good. Let us know
Mhm,
if you're thinking anything. What's really make it easy on yourself too. Like if like say you're watching on YouTube, just leave a comment. You don't need to like
mhm,
message us anywhere. You can just
mhm.
kind of leave the comment and say like what you're kind of curious about, or maybe something in the video that sparked whatever it is. A few people have done that, I think. Um, I really like it. But yeah, just stay empowered, focus on
Stay off threads.
you,
No, I'm just kidding.
stay off threads. No. And just know that at least you could at the very least you can go into the new year with a good attitude.
Yeah.
I think that's an easy thing that we can all try to do at least.
Year of the horse, baby. Let's get it.
Yeah.